Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. You're watching Project Dark Knight Horror, and I am your host, The Dark Knight. Today we're focusing on ghosts, poltergeists and demons. We're going to take a deep dive into the world of the paranormal. So stick the kettle on and make a cup of tea and let me show you the truth. It's that time again. So close the door, shut the curtains and turn off the lights and go full screen as you get ready to watch evil paranormal videos that show 100% how a demon can break you down. The update of Z. For our first case today, we're checking back in with Z and his family in Dubai. If you watched my last video, I did a deep dive on his haunting which has been escalating day by day, and his wife Mona and their cheeky son Ryan moved from India to Dubai because of a job opportunity. Everything was okay at the beginning. Both parents were working and their son started school. But soon they needed an extra pair of hands, and so Z and his wife Mona hired a live-in maid. Her job was to mainly look after their son, cook and clean. Because both parents were working full-time, it was easier if they hired someone to take their son to school, pick him up, and to have hot, home-cooked meals ready and waiting for them when mum and dad got home from work. But it didn't turn out like that. About 1 month after the maid started work, the couple noticed their son's behavior change. He didn't like the maid and he was always angry. Also, they noticed that the maid would never eat the food that she prepared for the family. Whenever they asked her if she was hungry, she would always say that she's already eaten. So the couple got a CCTV set up to see exactly what the maid was up to. What they found out scared them. After reviewing the CCTV every morning on his phone, Z saw the maid would sit up most of the night staring at the bedroom door and whispering something under her breath, and she ate different food. This went on for days, and so, because of their son's anger issues and the lack of trust in their food and the strange creepy staring and whispering all night long, the family had no choice but to let her go. And so the maid left. That meant mum had to stop working for the time being, but at least they had peace of mind, right? Wrong, because a few nights after the maid left, strange, really scary activity started happening in their home. At first, their son would see a shadow figure here and there, and because of his age and innocence and lack of fear, he named the ghost Jerry. Soon thereafter, Jerry started to make himself be known. When the son was doing homework, Jerry would move his books, paper and pens.
Mommy, Jerry troubling me.
Then, as usual, like all hauntings, the paranormal activity persisted and got worse. So Z asked his friends for advice, and his Christian and Muslim friends advised him to play recordings from the Bible and the Quran to hopefully stop this negative being. But this had a really bad side effect, and when the Holy Scriptures were being played, maggots started emerging from everywhere. Again, it was all captured on camera. Then the ghost, poltergeist or demon took up dwelling inside a cupboard that belonged to, yes you guessed it, the maid.
Shh. Let me just check. It's coming from the cupboard. Could you please stop?
Then the activity shifted. From being a nuisance, the entity turned malevolent. And one night, while the family was all tucked up warm in their beds, fast asleep, Jerry started scratching on their bedroom door. Watch.
Oh my god. Ajay? क्या है ये? It's just near the door.
Daddy, what is it?
Nothing, but I'll just go to sleep now, okay?
Is that Jerry?
I don't know. Just be quiet now.
Hey.
Please, I beg you. मत जा. Don't go. Listen to me.
It's okay. Just be quiet.
Daddy, are you scared?
No, Mama. I'm not scared.
Daddy, Spider-Man will come soon and rescue us.
No, don't worry. Daddy's here.
अजय मत जाओ. मैं तुम्हारे पैर पड़ती हूँ. Please.
नहीं, कुछ नहीं होता. खबर. Come here. Okay, I'm not doing this.
To see and hear this on video is scary enough, but to be the one who is actually experiencing it firsthand must be terrifying. To be in your bed and to have something banging, tapping and scratching at the door, knowing that it can't be anyone from your family, and to think that just inches of wood is all that stands between you and this hateful, horrifying entity is unimaginable. Everything I mentioned up to this point was all featured in my last video, so if you haven't seen it already, go back and watch that first. Now, this is where the update begins.
It's 5 minutes early today. Okay.
Remember, Z told us in the last video that the reason they put so much stuff on the sofa bed is because one night when he came out of the room, in the dark, it looked like someone was sitting on the sofa. Also, some of you contacted me in the comments and said you saw something similar. As he passes the sofa, he feels a cold blast of air. Then, as he turns off the bathroom taps, a loud bang can be heard and the sound of running footsteps slapping against the floor. There's not much that Z can do, and he retreats to the safety of his bedroom. This is what the CCTV captured moments before Z came out of his bedroom. Remember the scooter? Well, this is how it ended up outside the bedroom door. As the CCTV begins, the scooter is on the far right-hand side of the living room. Then, slowly but surely, the scooter moves across the living room. If you look carefully, you can make out the outline of the entity. Then, Again, on another night in the early hours, Z gets woken up from his sleep by the sound of his front door bell ringing. Watch.
Okay, so last night something creepy happened. Before I show you the video, I just wanted to show you this. Okay, so these are the motion controlled lights. I don't know what exactly it's called, maybe motion sensor lights or something. Now, what actually happened is someone or something was at our main door last night. So I don't know whether you guys call it as a ghost, demon, or poltergeist. I don't know what it is, but it was really annoying. So have a look at the video, guys. You decide. It's not the security. Just be with Munno, okay?
Okay.
It's 140. Who is it? Who is it? Okay.
अच्छा रुको मैं भी हूँ
नहीं, तुम बच्चे के साथ रहो, नहीं तो वो डरेगा.
Daddy, can I go?
No, Mama. You take care of Mommy. Daddy will come soon. पूरा सामान गिरा हुआ है. Yeah. इधर भी पूरा कवर गिरा हुआ है.
Evil entities and demons thrive on misery and fear. It's as simple as that. They hate it if you're happy, or if there's a lot of laughing and happy memories being made in your home and life. So it will do everything in its power to break you and your loved ones down. One way of doing this is by not letting you sleep. Because when you're tired and sleep deprived, you're moody, grouchy, and you don't have an appetite, and it causes arguments. And also, when you're tired, you're careless and you let your guard down. Whatever this entity is, it most likely was summoned by the maid. Z still doesn't know why she would do this. After all, he and Mona treated her with kindness like family. They opened their door to her and gave her a job and trusted her. But one thing I've learned from experience is that sometimes evil doesn't need a reason. Evil exists because there are evil people in the world, and sometimes people do bad things to good people because of hate, jealousy, and greed. We might never know if or why the maid summoned this entity, but what we do know is that the entity is evil, and all it wants to do is cause harm to Z and his family, and that is the trait of a demon. So, if you're experiencing similar issues, it's vital that you surround yourself with loved ones, friends, and family, because a demon or an evil entity will always try to separate you from your loved ones. Because when you're alone, you're weak and vulnerable, and that's when it surrounds you and digs its claws into your life. Another vital piece of armor is faith. Now, I'm not a Bible basher, but I am one of God's soldiers, and no matter whether you want to hear this or not, the truth is, your faith is your sword and shield, and without it, you're gonna lose. Never forget, Lucifer used to be one of God's most loved of all the angels before he fell from grace. That is why faith can hurt him and his legions. So never forget that.
Please stay outside, please.
अजय कहाँ थे?
She just scared me. Hello. Hello. Hello.
This haunting is happening as we speak. Z and I are constantly emailing each other, and it's obvious from what I've seen and heard that this haunting is getting worse, and it's only just started. If you want to know how this haunting all began and watch his story from the beginning, then may I suggest you watch my last upload, because I asked Z to personally explain his story in detail, and when you hear it, you'll finally understand how bad this haunting really is. The last time I spoke to the family, all three were as well as could be, considering what they're going through. As soon as I hear anything from Z and the family, I will let you know. Or you can jump on over to his own YouTube channel. It's called Zark Scary Haunting. The name is on screen. But don't forget, when you get there, tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. The Hitchhiker, Part 2. For our next case, we're checking back in with Nick Perry, who made a YouTube channel called The Hooker to get help and advice for his haunting. This is part 2 of Nick's haunting. I featured Nick's haunting in a previous video, so if you want to watch his story from the beginning, I'll link it in the description section below. So Nick's haunting officially started in 2019, but he didn't post anything until 2022. That's because he tried to ignore it, and he didn't want his friends to know, in case they ridiculed him or they didn't want to come over. Also, Nick didn't believe it wholeheartedly at first, but as the months rolled on and the paranormal activities started to increase to the point that Nick couldn't ignore it anymore, so he made a YouTube channel and posted his videos for the whole world to see. I got in touch with Nick and we spoke about how his haunting all began, and he said it started on Dyer Lane, just outside of Roseville. If you're into the paranormal, then you'll know that Dyer Lane is one of the most haunted roads in the region. People from all over the world travel there to do paranormal investigations, rituals, and to visit the site of mass graves. There have been a lot of murders and accidents that have taken place on this haunted stretch of road. And even as recent as 2022, satanic cults meet there to take part in their annual rituals. And all of this can be found online if you research it. And this is where Nick found himself in the early hours one night in 2019, and he was followed home by something paranormal. Like I said before, I covered this in my last update, so refer to my Ghost, Poltergeist and Demons playlist to watch from the beginning. Now, back to the update. We are going to dive straight into 5 of Nick's last videos. Remember, Nick captured this image of a shadow figure in his bathroom. Then, back in November, it was spotted again, just for a moment, but regardless, it was there. Watch.
Weird. It's a weird fucking...
In this short clip, the shadow figure can be seen walking past in the background. This haunting has been going on for almost 4 years on and off, and we only get to view a snippet here and there, but it's definitely starting to wear Nick down. When you get an attachment, the entity is like a parasite, feeding off your energy. Hauntings vary all over the world, but they have some traits that share similarities, and one of them is that the paranormal entities feed off your energy, fear, and emotions. One minute you can feel happy and healthy and upbeat, and the next, all of a sudden, you'll feel drained and depressed. The same goes for electrical devices like lights, cameras, and batteries. And if you have an attachment, then this is amplified. And if an entity is an evil spirit or a demon, then that's even worse. And I think this is what's happening to Nick. In the following video, it's clear that this haunting is starting to affect him.
So, I wanted to clear something up with some of the people watching my videos. But I just wanted to show you guys that what you're seeing is I don't have any other explanation for it. I don't want this to be happening to me. Making me lose sleep, lose weight, depressed all the time, drained of energy, tired but can't sleep, but lose weight still. I've been getting a lot of comments of that I should bless my house or have a priest come out, shaman, mediums, and all that. The problem with that is you have to believe in God for that to work. I don't. And I know you guys are probably gonna attack me for saying that, but I do believe that there's a good and there's a bad. There's definitely can't explain what's going on in my house, but I just don't believe in God or the devil. But all I know is that if I was God, if there was a God, why is there so much pain and hate and suffering to the people that don't deserve it? While the other people, the pieces of shit of this human race, continue to live on, affecting other people and their lives forever. If I was God, how am I supposed to worship something that allows all of that? How am I supposed to fear something I'm supposed to love? How am I supposed to believe in something that just takes?
Then, 2 weeks ago, Nick was filming a creek which runs parallel to his home. Because of all the rain and bad weather his country's had recently, the creek overflowed more than ever. So he filmed it because it wasn't an everyday occurrence. But eventually, a few days later, the creek started to subside and the water level dropped. That's when he spotted something in the mud. The water must have swept it upstream, but regardless, he went out and grabbed it.
Alright, so this is what it is. What I found. What is this? It's all wet.
As he was examining the box, all of a sudden, this happened.
Look at this. Huh. Found this over at the on the creek behind my house. It's got something in it. Ugh. Gross. What the fuck is this thing, man? The fuck, dude?
All of a sudden, there was a bang like something fell or was thrown. But when he looked, he couldn't find anything. Then Nick said he saw someone peering out of his cupboard and he ran out of his room. When I examined the piece of footage, I couldn't find anything. So let me know down in the comments section if you can see anything.
Fuck this shit, dude. I'm out of here, dude. don't know what the fuck that was. Shit, where's my fucking keys? God damn it. Yeah, my keys are in my room.
Then Nick had to go back to his bedroom because he forgot his car keys, and what happened next was terrifying. Watch.
Fuck is that? Fuck. God damn it, my keys are in my fucking room, man. I don't want to go in there. I saw somebody, I swear to fucking God, I saw somebody in my fucking closet. I hope I got that on fucking camera, dude. Oh my God, I got the fucking chills. I don't know. God damn it, my fucking keys. Shit. Yeah, my ceiling is leaking water. That's fucking awesome, isn't it? My fucking keys. Sorry, I'm a horrible camera guy. My keys are in my fucking room. Dude, I'm too fucking scared. You see me? Okay. Jesus fucking man. Come on. Really? God damn. Hello? Hello? Where's my fucking camera's not on? This is on the infrared thing. I don't know if that's a real person or whatever. It looked like a fucking real person to me. If you're in my house, you need to get out. Hello? Dude, I'm fucking hot. Why is that fucking heater on? Hello? Can't fucking see under my door. If you're in here, the cops are on their way. Jesus Christ. Fuck this. I'll walk.
Well, did you see anything in the cupboard? And do you know what that little box could be? If you have any answers or theories, then feel free to drop a comment down below. Nick lives with his sister and her boyfriend, and they can vouch for the paranormal activity that's happening in his home. So far, Nick has captured the shadow figure on 3 separate times, not to mention all the bangs, furniture moving, and the door knocking. This haunting is a mystery, and I will keep you up to date with all of Nick's uploads, and when I speak to him next, I will let him know what you think. Or you can drop him a message directly in his comment section, because he's really on a downer at the moment, and I know from my own experience that getting messages and help and advice from you really will perk him up. But while you're in the comment section, don't forget, tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. If you've seen something strange, scary, or amazing, and you've captured it on camera, or maybe you're a paranormal investigator and you need some help to get that content out there, or you might be unlucky enough to live in a haunted house and you need some help and answers because you feel you're all alone. Well, you're not. Project Dark Knight Horror is here for you. So send in your videos, clips, links, stories, ideas, photos and more to Project Dark Knight. The email is on screen. Thank you. There's something about Sam. The full story. For my next case, I'm revisiting a channel that I covered last year, but at the time, I didn't show you everything. So this time, we're going to examine the channel My Name is Sam in depth, and I'll show and tell you the full story. If you remember, it all started when Sam was in the attic having a clear out, when he found an old family Polaroid. So he fired off a few pictures to see if it was still working, and it was. Unbeknown to Sam at the time, he had just captured something in one of his photos. Watch.
I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the Polaroid that I uploaded to the internet last week before I start discussing anything else that's going on around the house. So this is the original Polaroid that I took. Nothing about it has been changed, tampered with in any way. What I noticed originally was right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not exactly sure what this is. At this point, your guess is as good as mine, but I really would appreciate just some help to figure out what it is and if I should be worried or not. Found this Polaroid camera. This is the Polaroid camera that I took the photo with, by the way. I found it while I was cleaning out the basement. It had some old film in it. I took a few photos with it, and they seemed fine until I noticed what was in this one. This is where I was sitting when I took that picture. I was aiming, I think, right around here, and the head of whatever it was appeared through that pane right there. I double-checked on the Polaroid itself. The deck drops a few inches, so whatever it was had to have been at least 6 feet tall, maybe more, which I'm sure I would have noticed someone that tall standing there, but I know for a fact there was nobody there when I took that photo. I hope that explains a little of what's been going on around here, but at the very least, you know the story behind this Polaroid.
So while using the camera, Sam captured a shadow figure of a man wearing a hat, watching him through one of the windows. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to cover this story in depth. If you followed my channel and my group for some time, you will know that my mum and I had our own personal experiences with the paranormal for many years in my childhood home. My mum would wake up to see a shadow of a man standing over her wearing a hat, just watching, and he'd always disappear. We would always hear him walking around in our home because we had creaky floorboards, but we always ignored it. That is until one day when my mum went out. I was quite young at the time, but I remember clearly. The bedroom door slammed open and I heard a creak from the floorboard. Being my own home, I knew where the creaky floorboards were because I had to avoid them while my mum was asleep and when I had to sneak out. This entity came towards me. I couldn't see it, but I followed the sounds of the floorboards as it creaked and as it drew nearer and nearer. So I covered my head with the duvet as this thing stood near me. I don't remember when it disappeared, but I remember waking up sweating still under the duvet. And on that morning, I was forever changed. The paranormal became an obsession and a fascination of mine. My mum still lives in our family home, and from time to time, she still experiences strange paranormal activity. But my mum is stubborn, and she's a tough old bird. Sorry, Mum. She ignores it, and it never gains strength. You see, my friends, when I say ignore it and don't communicate with the paranormal, this is not just a random piece of advice. This comes from my own personal experience through most of my teenage years. So, if you're watching, I love you, Mum, and I miss you. So back to the story. Sam started having issues with the lights inside and outside his home. Every time he changed light bulbs, a few hours later, they would always start flickering and they would blow. Also, Sam would hear footsteps and scratching coming from the attic, so he decided to film it.
It's a little after 1 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up to the sounds of banging and scratching coming from the attic again. This has been going on the last couple nights. Every time I go to sleep, it stopped for now, but I think I'm going to try to stay up and see if it happens again. And if it does, I'm probably going to have to go into the attic to see what it is. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but this is what I've been hearing the last few nights.
Then, just like many hauntings all over the world that I've covered on my channel, in the early hours of the dark, Sam heard something knocking at the door. Remember, people, if this ever happens to you, never ever open the door. Watch.
There's been someone knocking at my front door for the last 10 minutes or so, and they haven't stopped knocking. Hello? Who's there?
One cold night in December, Sam woke up in the early hours of the dark to something knocking at his door. So he looked out of the window, but he saw no one. He waited to see if the knocking would stop, but 10 minutes later, and the knocking persisted. It knocked continuously in knocks of threes, over and over again. So he got up and did something I always tell people not to do. Sam quietly unlocked the door, and he timed it carefully to try and catch someone out in the act. But as he suddenly jerked the door open, there was no one there.
What's going on here? Somebody's playing games and it's not funny.
Then, as Sam went back inside and closed the door, he heard knocking coming from the back door, and again the knocking was in threes. I've done a lot of research in my time about the paranormal, and I've read and heard experts and victims' opinions that the act of door knocking is symbolic. It is recommended that when an entity knocks on your door like this, you should never, ever open the door, because once you do, the entity will have access to parts, if not all, of your home, and will be free to come and go as it pleases, and in the long run, it's harder to get rid of. Sam didn't do this, and for whatever reason, he opened both doors, and unknown to Sam at the time, but he had just given the entity keys to his home.
Are you kidding me?
To make things worse, Sam lives right up against a thick forest, so who knows what came knocking in the early hours of that cold winter night. But whatever it was, it knocked in threes, and if you're well versed in the occult, then you'll know the meaning of the number 3. Pop quiz time. Let me know down in the comment section the answer to this question. In the world of the occult, what is the meaning of the number 3? Whether paranormal activity happens at 3 a.m, or if you hear 3 knocks on your door, or if you get 3 scratches on your body. I know that most of you watching will know the answer to this, especially if you've been watching Project Dark Knight for some time. But I'm interested in your opinions and different theories, so please just humor me. He was sure that someone had to be on his property, so he looked all around again. Then, as he circled around the side of the house, to his horror, there, up in his bedroom window, Sam saw the outline of a figure looking down at him. The entity was now in his room.
Oh my god. I just lost power in my house. I looked down the road and I saw lights on, so I think it's just me. I'm gonna go down to the breaker box and see what's up. You stay here, I'm gonna go get the power back on, okay? Everything looks okay. I guess I'm gonna have to call the power company. These were closed. These were 100% closed. I never leave these open. If there's someone or something here, I want you to prove it to me. I want you to close one of these doors. Come on! Well, if I'm being honest, I'm glad nothing happened. Holy sh! Shit.
Eventually, Sam did the sensible thing and reached out to a paranormal investigator and asked him for some help, and the investigator gave him some really good advice. I wonder if Sam followed his instructions. If you're going through something similar to what Sam did, then listen to some of the advice and information that the expert gave. And if you're not, you can still learn a thing or two.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Sam. How's it going?
I guess as well as it could be. I got a little bit of a headache, but, you know. How about you?
Sorry to hear that. I'm doing well. Sorry to hear that, though.
So did you want to start talking about the videos first, like what's been going on and everything that I filmed, or I'm not sure really where to start. I've never really contacted a paranormal expert before.
Yeah, so I've watched all the videos and just like gone back and watched them again just to see if there's anything I missed and see what I could pick out from them. But is there anything more that you wanted to let me know about besides the videos as far as like things with you are concerned?
I guess lately I've just been feeling a little bit more just tired and, you know, the headaches. This is, you know, it's been an ongoing thing for the last couple of weeks. But other than that, it's been relatively quiet since I came back to the house. I think I told you in our first correspondence that I left for a few weeks to just get out of here after I saw that thing in the hallway.
From what I've seen and been told, in my experience, it seems like it's a shadow person, but like it's attached to you, and it's just feeding off of your emotions, like off your negative emotions. It's just like it's almost like, you know, just like a battery just draining you of everything that you can get off you from all the negative that you have going on. And it's just like, you know, it's making you more anxious and more nervous that I could tell in your videos when I watch them sometimes. And I'm just worried that the more you feed him, the worse it could possibly get for yourself. Have you also, have you had any like medical things going on? I know you said you had like a headache and you've been like kind of just like not feeling yourself, but I mean, has there been anything else? I know in the one video you said that you kind of just didn't remember even filming that video. Are there any other things like that, or you end up having any like, have you seen any like maybe marks on your body that weren't there before, or any like bruising that came out of nowhere? Just any other things that you've like ailments that you've had in the meantime? So there's a few options that I have for you at this time right now, based on like everything we've talked about, but try to be in a more positive mind frame and just try to keep any negativity out. And as long as you do that, maybe the shadow person will get less interested because there won't be enough to feed on. But I think that's the main course to take. The other option is just, you know, you could do a cleansing, but if you do a cleansing, I would not want you to do that on your own. I would want to be there just because I think you just definitely need someone there if it was to go wrong. That could be really bad where it could seep in deeper and attach itself more to you. And that's obviously not what we want at all. So for the time being, I would say just if you keep doing what you're doing, just do the first option and just try to be a lot more positive. And we can keep in touch as far as seeing how that goes and if we need to do anything else beyond that.
Okay.
Sam stopped posting 5 months ago, which isn't really that long. He moved out of the house. I like to think that his life got better and all the paranormal activities stopped. I've reached out to Sam to see how he's doing and if the entity followed him to his new home. So, if he gets back to me, I will let you know. You can watch Sam's haunting from the beginning by jumping onto his YouTube channel. The channel is called My Name is Sam. But when you get there, don't forget, tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. If you made it to the end, then I salute you. You prove that you are a true fan of horror. So remember, if you're interested in ghosts, poltergeists and demons, urban exploring, haunted houses and randonautica, animal attacks, cursed objects and strange dark mysteries, then Project Dark Knight Horror is the channel for you. What a month it's been. First, my channel got hacked, and then YouTube terminated it. I lost absolutely everything, and when all was lost, and so was I, it was you who got me by. There was a point where I couldn't be bothered anymore, and I wanted to give up. But again, it was you who got me by. Yes, my friends, when I was down and out, it was your comments and love and support. They were like a light in the dark, and you showed me my way back. So I fought for my channel. And after a lot of emails, phone calls, and stress, I got my channel back. So from the bottom of my heart, I humbly thank you, every single one of you, my subscribers, viewers, and my online friends. In the next few days, I'll be starting a brand new channel called The Dark Knight Scary Stories. So, if you like scary stories, missing 411s, creepypastas, dark mysteries, urban legends, true crime and much more, then subscribe to both of my channels. It's free after all. My main channel, Project Dark Knight Horror, and my second new channel, The Dark Knight Scary Stories, which will be starting any day now. So, stay tuned for more. Before I go, I got another tip for you. Why not join Project Dark Knight on my private Facebook group? Here, you'll be in great company. You've got lots of different people from lots of different countries, from lots of different backgrounds. But we all share one thing in common, and that is our love for horror. So, if you need a place to post your thoughts, comments, videos and clips, or a place online where you feel like you belong and don't get judged regardless of your background, race or religion, or if you just need a chat and some friendly advice, then Project Dark Knight Horror Facebook group is for you. I absolutely love all things horror and I'm so passionate about my channel. So, if you liked what you see and you think I deserve it, then subscribe to Project Dark Knight. I want to say a massive thank you to my lovely Patreons. These people go that extra mile to support my channel and to help the channel grow. Some of the names on this list have been with me since day one. Their names are Dawson Lip, Turtle Chief 9, Julie 6, Andrew M. Gross, Laura Rhodey, George Lopez, Cookie Ooh I Don't Know, Countess Monette, Greasy Cox, Donna Sayers, D. Michael Smith, Catherine Murphy, Sean Squillis, Giovanni Dad, Trumpet, Anna, Love You Eminem, KJ Majid, Devin Keener, Honey Badger, Charlie X24, Judah, William Haney, Jimmy's Jammin', and Vladimir Kapek. It's thanks to kind people like you who believe and support the channel and keep the engines running at Project Dark Knight. And always remember, you've been watching Project Dark Knight Horror, and I'm still your Dark Knight. Signing off. Peace!
Don't ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet, from your head down to your feet. They put you in a big black box and cover you up with dirt and rock.